broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
All right, I like it. It's good. It's good. Welcome, AfterBuzzers, to our second episode of the Satisfaction AfterShow here at AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we are talking Season 2, Episode 2, Through Risk. And it is getting a little risky, ain't it, Khalil?
It sure is.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's getting risque.
It's getting risque. Risque.
Yes.
I'm your host, Allison Dean. You can find me everywhere at The Allison Dean. I have two lovely, lovely panelists here, co-hosts galore with me.
All
Blake,
of that. All
Blake,
of that.
where can they find you?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Khalil Abubu.
Cool. And if you're not already subscribing, please hit the subscribe button right down below. God, I love that music.
And comment and share.
And comment and share, and especially
like.
with Khalil. And like.
I'm big on the sharing.
Just like
I'm
us and comment and interact, because wow, this show is just giving us a lot to discuss.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
It really is.
Isn't it? It is. It is, right?
Are we satisfied? I don't know.
Oh, yes, we should. I should ask that. Hashtag.
Right.
Are you satisfied, Blake?
No, because
Oh.
I'm confused
Okay,
after
all
this
right,
one.
all
But
right.
that's okay. I hope to be satisfied very soon.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
Maybe the week after. Who knows? Khalil, hashtag, are you satisfied?
Is there a medium level?
Sure.
I'm about medium.
You're partially satisfied.
Yeah, I'm
Medium
partially satisfied.
satisfaction.
But just because this one felt a little forced. Like, and I said this off camera, but it feels like maybe because I'm not married, I'm not going through
Older?
a midlife crisis. I'm not exactly. I'm not older. I'm not an escort, so like I don't know.
You're none of those things, Khalil.
You know, so I don't know that much about that life. So like when I see certain things or you present them to me, I'm like, does it really happen like that? You know, I'm skeptical. I'm like,
Right.
so
well,
and not saying that they're incorrect, saying that I just don't know. I don't
Right.
have any friend escorts. I don't know any escorts.
you don't really have a point of reference.
Exactly.
Outside of this show now.
Exactly.
And this is television, so that makes it a little bit more mysterious.
yeah.
Yeah, but I do think that this is sort of the crazy version that if you were gonna live your life some sort of way, like
You
this
would
is
want
how
it
you
to
would want to
happen
do
like
it.
this.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
right?
agree with that.
Because it's like you have no point of reference, so why not just do every single thing you want to
would
do? Like
want
become
it
a
to
rock
happen.
star and like
Yeah.
become a paid
Even if
male
you
escort.
suck. Even if you suck. That's
Yeah.
another thing. It's like he's so cool that he's terrible as a rock star, but I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, and then Grace walks in to the house on
Seriously.
him, and he's just like jamming away. He's like, I've never played one of these before, and he has a full Marshall stack in behind him. Like, oh, okay.
I've never played before.
Never played
And I'm
before.
terrible, but I just needed to scratch this itch, you know?
Like I was thinking, how did those Marshall amps even get inside the house? Like
Yeah.
he didn't carry them in.
Maybe he called Rent a Center or something.
He called
I
that
don't know.
band
must have.
manager lady.
Yeah.
And
he's like, lady, roll
It's
him
like
in.
whatever.
Roll 'em in.
You got something that you're not using, I can borrow
Yeah.
it. For,
come on down.
Toss him on over this way.
Toss him my way.
I'm gonna
it's
get my rock star on.
He's definitely, I mean, I'd say comparative to last season, it is a little bit more.
He's getting cocky now.
There's more gut. Yes. Okay, so yeah. Yes.
He's feeling himself.
Although I do think that where we're at right now, and I don't know if this is maybe a prediction, so forgive me, but I think that there's
Your AfterBuzz
No.
TV prediction.
well, like maybe one. Thanks, James.
That was good.
think-
it was like a quick punchy
I know,
one.
it was like
it wasn't
a-
like the full
yeah,
shebang.
the whole room didn't shake. We appreciate that. No, I think that he's going to, especially if he has any shot of really getting Grace back, I think we're going to see a little bit of a tempering of him a little bit. And depending on how much of this Simon and Neil partnership, which we're going to talk about, happens, I think that's also going to temper him a little bit. So,
I agree with you, but I feel like that would be a far off prediction because
like
right now
season 3,
he's
what are we
like-
talking? Season
he's-
3?
Yeah,
Okay, all
yeah.
right, all
Honestly,
right.
because
Okay.
right now, like he's bubbling and he hasn't
bubbling.
he hasn't reached his
like
peak
it.
yet.
Yeah,
like
right.
he's not at the boiling
still
point.
climbing
He's just
the
bubbling.
volcano.
Exactly. So he's like coming into it now, like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this. I'm just gonna show up to a rock show and like have sex with this tour manager, and then I'm gonna like get hooked up on dates. And even after this chick tells me that she's not gonna have sex, we're gonna have sex anyway.
I'm gonna tell her, yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
I'm gonna tell her, yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Then I'm gonna go home and rock out for a little bit. Then I'm gonna go to work, and I'm gonna listen to my dumbass partner give some bad advice. And then I'm gonna shit on him, and
I'm gonna
tell
do
the
it all in
client
this sick-ass
how it's
office.
so great in this sick ass office, and then they're gonna sign because of me. Boom.
Khalil, that was
Drop
Khalil
it.
Sum it all
Boo
up. Thank you,
Khalil
Khalil.
Boo, everyone.
Well done. Well done.
That was a very.
So-
he just recapped the whole episode for us. Well done, Khalil.
Well done. He's wonderful.
But no, but I mean, I did. That was a little much. I probably went off on the deep end with that. But like, he's like, he's coming into it now, and so he's gonna hit his little peak or whatever, where it's like,
Or a big one.
A bit. No, yeah, he's gonna hit his big peak where he's like really doing it, and then what you said.
I think it'll be interesting.
I will say that as we were watching it,
Yes.
Khalil was like, "This is gonna happen.
Oh,
This is gonna happen."
Oh.
And then it like kept happening, and I was like,
did he already
"Did you
watch
even
it?
need to watch this?"
Oh,
He just knows.
Khalil is so wise.
So wise.
Wise beyond
God,
his
you flatter
years.
me.
So
No wise man.
All right, well let's start with Neil, and there was a lot of Neil hybrid Simon action, so there'll be Neil Simon discussion simultaneously. So Neil does crash this rock star party or something. One of the band members that he hijacked the stage from the prior week, the prior day, yo no say, I don't know. However, ends up bringing the guy a guitar because he wants the guitar that he like rammed into the trailer. Or
Totally did not get that part.
yeah, me neither. I was like,
why?
you have like this amazing guitar, right?
Signed.
But also an epically awesome guitar, and you want the banged up, weird, used version that I don't know. That didn't make sense to me.
I get it for like sentimental reasons, like, oh, this is from that time that I went on stage and rocked out or whatever.
He didn't though. He just shouted into a microphone, really.
Well, yeah.
But okay, I mean, okay, fine. I accept.
It's a reach. It's definitely a reach.
It's a reach, but I feel you.
That's the best I got.
That time I had sex with that tour manager, band manager
right.
lady.
This is the guitar from that day.
The
I
time
get
my
that.
daughter ran into the
Ran
trailer
in horror
and
from my actions. I want that guitar.
I want that guitar in my life. This is the one for me. So
to forever remember the look on my daughter's face.
But then
as she's running away.
we so abruptly cut from like him talking to that guy to then suddenly he sees Simon, and then they talk about,
Closing
oh, what
a
are you
deal.
doing? What are you crashing my party? I don't know. That was all étranger to me, but whatever. Episode 2 is a little weird, so that's fine. I guess it all kind of works.
Yeah, everyone's very friendly in this episode.
And then Simon says, like, the
have
other
a
guy
weird
didn't
relationship.
show up, so I need a wingman. And Neil delivered. He did. They played a little naked Marco Polo.
Mm-hmm. They did.
He had some fun.
Again, like that was such a fantasy to me.
Oh.
Where it's like, does that
See,
really happen?
You're welcome, Khalil.
Like-
You're welcome.
No, I mean, yeah, it was great to like watch
yes,
it, but
and that's what I'm saying. Like, you have no point of reference, but if you were gonna do it, wouldn't you
that's
do it
how
that way?
Yeah, I would do it that way. Like that's
exactly that
Yeah.
way.
And that's where I'm like, is this real? Because that's like too much of a fantasy.
It's not real. It's television, Khalil.
Just so you know.
All on USA.
I want it to be real.
USA. All right,
Why
so
can't this be real?
moving on from that, then Simon shows up after they've had this romp. Now I guess Simon and Neil are bonded.
Yeah, they're friends now.
Who saw that coming?
No, I didn't.
Not at all.
They have
And,
a
like,
very weird relationship.
Right, and
I don't know
so
who
quickly.
punches somebody in the face after you walk in their apartment and then like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I will say
Let's
this.
hang out.
Yeah,
Let's share business and ladies.
exactly.
And my wife.
No
Yeah.
guy
Yeah,
likes
and
to
my
share ladies and my wife.
And my wife.
Just
Yeah.
all the ladies.
That's
Let's
Such a
just share
weird
them all.
relationship.
I think it's so unconventional, and that's almost what makes them have this bond.
It
is
makes
that
it work, yeah.
Only the two of
That's a good-
them
that's a good
can
point.
relate on that level. It's very strange, and I think, especially with everything going on with Grace at this point between, I mean, Grace with Simon or Grace with Neil. It's almost like they need each other in this very sick and twisted way.
Sick and twisted.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Good point.
Yeah, makes sense.
So Simon shows up at Neil's, was it at Neil's office? Yes. It was at Neil's office, and he's trying to convince Neil, because Simon is not on speaking terms with Adriana. So he wants the paintings back that Adriana stole or said that she was going to pay for but didn't, kind of a thing. And Neil's like, I need a process, but no.
Yeah. Out of that whole like scene,
Yes.
the only thing that really stuck in my mind was how Simon had like a brain slip, and the assistant came in and was like, your wife is here. And then he was like, oh, my wife?
Yeah.
And then she was like, no, I said Simon is here.
But I like that because it was like they're
Grace was
both
on the
thinking
mind.
about and because the same thing happened with Grace. We're like, good morning, beautiful.
Right.
Like they're both thinking about each other. I felt like that's what they were trying to say, and I
really-
appreciated the way that they did it.
Khalil. Bravo, Khalil. Love you. Love you.
Bringing that
Did I
together.
do something?
All right, so then we
You identified the cute in the episode.
Oh, okay.
They're so cute. Skipping along, because we're going to talk about Grace's storyline in a moment. But so Neil shows up. Once again, we're back into the land of rock stars, and he shows up at the set of the music video of the band to finally retrieve the guitar that he was gonna retrieve the evening of the party, but he didn't, right?
No, I think he was making the deal.
Oh, he was making the deal.
Yeah, he was. I
Well, that's
feel
right.
like he was
Because he
making.
brought the offering and he was like,
Exactly.
this is yours if...
If you bring me yours.
Yeah.
Because you don't already have it here, because...
It's a
Why
party.
would
Why would you?
And
Yeah,
you wouldn't
it
bring
makes
your
sense.
guitar
It
to the
doesn't.
party.
Although I know a lot of band guys would...
That would bring their
But
guitar to
it
the
was
party.
a messed up guitar, so like.
Oh, maybe it's... Yeah, right. Okay. It was the
Yeah.
bastard guitar that did not belong at the party.
Exactly.
Right. It was not the so fresh and so clean version. Thank you, Khalil. But then there's a weird thing that happened that Blake and I were super confused about, and Khalil might have been less confused about it. But tour manager lady basically says to Neil, hey, you're going to see this girl tonight because of Simon. Khalil, tell us what happened.
I don't know.
No, it was...
No?
Tour
Blake, tell us
manager-
what happened.
Yeah, tour manager said, hey, my girlfriend Lisa, who was one of the two women that they were playing Naked Marco Polo with,
Ah!
she was like, my girlfriend Lisa was raving about you, so she set you up on this new date with this new woman, who he goes to meet with, and is Kate, the undercover
Writer,
journalist,
blogger,
reporter. Yes.
blogger.
But Simon set that up. I guess
Well,
he got
but
his
not in that
information.
exchange. Like, tour manager just slid him the info saying it was from my girlfriend Lisa. It wasn't until after that he went to go meet with Simon that Simon said, like, the details of it, like, oh, well, you were really good and really professional, and if I'm going to pass your information along, it's going to be better for my business, and blah blah blah. But it doesn't make sense how
Because
Simon knew tour
yes,
manager.
Now it does, because Marco Polo originated because of Simon. So if Lisa met Neil because of Simon.
Okay.
Because think about it, those two
Okay.
girls were there for Simon, but Simon's other
Yeah,
wing
but how
guy
does-
had not been there. So Neil became the wingman. So then,
So now tour manager knows that Simon and Neil are in the same business.
not necessarily, but they know that Simon and Neil know each other, and there
But
was
that doesn't
there
connect
was a
tour manager and Lisa.
well, you said your friend
Yeah, she
said,
did say they were
sure.
friends.
So that's how it all comes together.
Okay. Well, okay.
Whatever, it's backstory.
It's coming together in my brain, but maybe I'm
Okay.
not articulating it the right way. But
I think I'm with you.
okay,
I think I follow.
All right, I'm like,
yeah.
oh wow, that was a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, truly.
That we really could
Yeah,
have
I mean, the
simplified.
only way it really makes sense, though, for me is that tour manager now knows Simon and Neil are together in this male escort business, which could be possible because Neil did tell tour manager he was a male escort. So,
But they hadn't talked about Did they talk about going into business at that moment yet, or was that
No.
later?
No, it was
No,
later.
it was later. So it's still just like they were working together that night,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't that they necessarily were in business together. But I think just by Lisa saying, "Oh, hey, this awesome guy Neil," and she was like, "Oh, I know Neil." Whatever, I don't know. That's probably how it happened.
Okay, let's go with that.
I'm like, let's just sail on away with that one.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell us thoughts on this whole blogger exchange that was going on. Did you think that she was undercover until the moment he found the recorder? Wait, did I say that right?
No,
Did you think did you think she was undercover?
No.
Okay. You thought she was just being weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought she was just nervous or whatever. And he found the recorder, and this is where me and Blake were kind of saw eye to eye, and we were like, well, what is she doing in the bathroom?
Right.
And then Blake was like, why wouldn't you just leave? Like, all these other like, if you just...
I was sort of putting myself in Neil's shoes, and I was like, okay, he saw she was acting weird, and he kind of put everything together, and he went down and looked underneath the bed and found the recorder. And I was like, you know, you're in a sensitive, you know, profession anyways.
Right.
She tried to snap the photo of him, and he was like, oh no, anonymity is kind of a thing with this. So to have that weirdness and then to find the recorder underneath, I would just be like super weirded out. And I would think that she had planted other recording devices
In the room.
or the bathroom or whatever. Like,
the
what was she
bathroom,
doing in
yeah.
there?
Right.
And so like he decides to stay and be like, what's this about? What are you?
And
no,
and
let's
that
totally
part,
do
like,
it anyway.
I get like wanting to know, like, because then I'm
Right.
thinking, oh, since Simon set this date up, he's trying to set me up. Like, that's what I was thinking. Oh. You know?
And they were also showing like footage of Simon at another location. I didn't quite know what location it was, but he was like looking for things.
That was at Adriana's house.
Adriana's
Exactly. Looking for the paintings.
I know, so
Right.
it would make sense,
So-
like, oh, I'm trying to plant him somewhere else so I could go do this. But actually, that was also the same night that party was happening.
Yeah.
So I think it was just serendipitous, because really he was there because she and her whole family
gang.
were
her entourage.
Yeah.
family.
But and again, that goes back to, you know, what I was saying earlier. It's like, oh, well, yeah, you were trying to spy on me, but let's have sex anyway. Which is still a very, very much a guy thing. Like, a guy will, if like the guy wants sex, it doesn't matter like what you're thinking. Like, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's cute.
You
but
may
let's
be
have-
setting me up, and my life may implode tomorrow, but that's cool. Let's do it.
I think for
Do it right
Simon,
now.
though, there's like a level of compassion. I mean, yes, beyond the fact that he is a man, and I'm sure he just wanted to have sex with her, but like, on top of that, on top of that, I think it also had a lot to do with the fact that he has compassion for people that don't necessarily understand his side or his
Hence the
perspective.
app.
Yeah.
All of it. Just
Yeah.
like, so there's a level for him where he's like, let me make you understand where I'm coming from. And so like once she started opening up, I think things were registering. And so
Yeah.
I think he wants to offer that to people. Like, it's that other layer of like, it doesn't have to be all about the sex. It can really be about just like human
He wants
connection.
to be the Zen guy.
A little
he's
bit. The
finding
Zen
that-
sex guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
through sex.
Yes. On some level, yeah.
Mind blown? He just connected it.
I knew you were going to love the show, Khalil. I knew it.
No,
I know it.
yeah.
I know.
yeah.
He
That
was
That
like,
makes
he's
sense.
like,
Now
we're
it
getting
makes
there.
sense. Now it makes
Now,
sense.
I though take issue with,
Okay. Tell us, Blake. Yes.
The fact that, okay, so in the beginning episode, we came into the fact that, like, Neil and Grace had somewhat reconciled. At the beginning, yes, they were holding hands, they were loving, they were sort of like, it was like things were good until
In the beginning?
Yes, in the very first episode. And then the
Oh.
man came in with the gun, and then it all went crazy, and then Neil had to admit what he's doing, and then Grace's mind blew up, and then like, all of this happened.
This is another good recap, Blake. I like it.
Because it makes me think, okay, so they were on this reconciliation path.
Right.
Then they completely parted ways, like, really because of what happened.
Right.
But the thing that gets me is it's funny because Neil had zero hesitation in taking any sort of, I don't know, pause or like moment to just reflect on what happened and like not continue having sex with everybody for money or otherwise. He just like straight up went for it, and I was
Another
like,
guy thing.
Yeah, because I was like, you know, it seemed like you were going to be back together until everything blew up. Had things not blown up, were you just going to be together with Grace faithfully, monogamously, forever and ever? Or was this like an inevitable thing that happened anyways, that now he's
never
just
know.
having sex
We'll never know.
with everyone?
You know, I think for him, it's like, and he keeps reinforcing this and saying, I've never been so happy, and I've never felt so alive, and all these different things. So I think for him, he just really is going to do whatever keeps him in that place of aliveness. What's the word?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of life.
Of feeling so
living.
lively. Yes. Yeah. So Simon's going to keep having sex with everybody, basically.
Clearly.
Neil.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking,
Neil.
should we
Yes,
talk
Neil.
about, since you mentioned the whole Simon breaking into Adriana's house for the paintings, we might as well talk about that now. So he breaks in, he does find the paintings. So MacGyver of him. It's a theme. So MacGyver of him, inside joke from our Girl Code Live panel last night, which you all should watch that as well. Yeah.
And then you should listen to Hotline Bling.
Exactly, in that order. So Simon brings said paintings to his dad, whom he hasn't seen in 10 years? 10?
His dad looks pretty young.
I have to say, and I was like, oh my god, it's Grant Show! Ah! Which, by the way, everyone...
From Desperate... No, Devious
Melrose
Maze.
Place. I thought it was on Melrose Place. Was
Well,
he on Melrose Place first?
He's on Devious Maze.
Oh, I'm taking you way back then. Wow. Wow, I'm old. Okay. Pretty sure he was like making out with Heather Locklear on.
I didn't watch Melrose
Anyhow,
Place.
we'll just move along. So Grant Show is his dad, he's married in real life to Catherine Lanasa, who plays Adriana, which I was like,
So
that's
fab.
awesome.
Oh,
keep it in the
fab.
family. You might as well keep it in the
great.
fam. So brings the paintings back and brings them back. Why did he bring them back? Because what's her name? Emma was
Yeah.
basically like, you need to bring these back. But she didn't say why. She just said it
Yeah.
was important or something. So Simon brings the paintings and comes to find out his dad has stage 4 cancer. We don't know what kind of cancer, but he has stage 4, which that's never good.
No,
Never good.
Very bad news.
Very, very bad. And they're sitting by a fire. And okay, here's what I was thinking. So when Simon was at the door, he shows Emma that the paintings are inside the painting holder. Whatever.
That's precisely what it's called. Yes.
Yes.
Whatever it is. So the tube.
The painting tube.
The painting tube. In the painting tube. Shows them. And so there's a part of me that thought, okay, maybe they have been taken out and given to Emma before he threw the whole thing into the fire. Because I was like, was this a statement? Like, so my mind was thinking, because I'm like, are you going to burn, like, how much? 50 million?
Yeah.
5 million? 50 million?
I think 5 million.
$5 million in paintings?
yeah.
I was like, that's a little, like, relax, Simon.
Yeah.
Like, just chillax. It's fine art. You should never do that. I don't care how angry you are. An artist did that. So my mind is, maybe they're still alive and well in Emma's bedroom.
Yes.
I don't know.
Interesting. I
'Cause
like
how would
that.
we know?
I like that angle.
'Cause-
Did not think
Well,
of
we
it,
did
but
see it burning.
The
Maybe
tube.
we saw the tube.
And the
the
tube was
empty
paper.
tube. Yes.
It could have been empty.
Maybe.
Yes.
I'm just
Now,
saying.
see, when they first walked in, he shows Emma the paintings, and we see they're inside the tube.
Yes.
We're like, okay, cool. And then after that, we go to something else, and we come back, and he's standing in front of another painting and the fire.
Yes.
I thought that first. I thought he threw the paintings in there, and then I thought, wait. But you put one up before you threw the rest of the paintings in the fire? That doesn't make sense. And then the dad came down
And clarified.
that painting, like, oh, this painting has been here, so you're burning the other ones. And then we finally saw his whole body, and he still had it in his hand. So
He
I was
did say he
misconfused.
thought they were burning from the beginning of that scene.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I didn't see that at all. And that's why I was like, what? Because he kept calling, like, what was happening. And,
Well, okay, so basically there could be more painting talk in some episode.
There could be.
We don't know.
I think that's
Obviously.
very likely.
Painting
Can
has been throughout this whole last season. It was about
Paintings. Painting. Yeah,
support your local arts, people.
just saying. Just saying.
Can we talk about Emma for a minute?
Yes, let's talk about her. Oh, yeah, because,
Yeah.
hello, okay,
Yeah.
so now we need to go back in time and talk about Simon and Emma.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just gonna
Yeah, no, it was
bounce
intense.
around a bit.
Yeah. So
What the
Simon-
hell?
Yeah, completely. So Simon came home and Emma's just there, and like
Let's have sex.
the whole thing. I couldn't get
wish
behind
it
that
was so-
scene. I
like-
couldn't enjoy it because like, number one, I didn't really understand this whole scenario because really we haven't been made privy to what really the relationship is between Simon and Emma. We got a little tidbit
Yes.
from our lovely last week.
Yes.
Ms. Michelle gave us a little heads up, but we haven't quite seen that yet in our episode. So we know that Simon and Emma have said that they told each other years ago they wouldn't speak to each other, but she keeps like showing up to have sex with him apparently, because he's like, not again,
Right.
which obviously this happens. So then that happened, but then the whole part that made me feel like about it is that like
She's married to her.
she
his
does
dad?
his dad.
Well, we don't know if she actually does the dad
I think it's very likely they're married.
because he's Grant Show.
And that. And that. No, truly. I mean,
And if it's good enough for Catherine Lanasa, no, just kidding. Okay.
it's good enough for Emma.
You know,
So that was my issue with the moment, is I was just like, ooh, on many levels, this is like not.
I thought that they kind of masqueraded with some of that last episode, but maybe not. But I guess I was under the impression that they had already established that there was some history between the two of them that they weren't really giving us all the information for, but definitely there was relations between the two of them, and almost like the dad stole her
his
away.
girlfriend,
Or something.
That's what it kind of looks like.
And I'm thinking, well, she only left because the dad has way more money than he does. That's my guess. And then I'm like, oh, you selfish, terrible human you are. How can Simon still have any desire for you?
Right, and that's part of my issue too, is like, why?
Like,
wouldn't you just be so hurt and over it and just...
Unless, okay, the only way that maybe he's not is if maybe there's some, like, I don't know, crazy thing that Emma did, and the dad is bribing her into marriage to, like, keep it all at bay. I mean, if we're gonna talk real soap opera here, like, that's my only guess. Because
Maybe.
then,
And that's why Emma the whole time was like, you don't understand.
right?
Like, you have to do these things because you don't understand.
I don't know. You're right. It just, I don't know. But so that'll be interesting. The whole thing is just like, what?
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
I think we just really need more information.
We do.
Because we're just
do.
kind of,
We do.
you know,
Yeah.
We're like,
getting hit with
we're fishing
waves
with
and we're
nothing.
like,
Right.
don't know where
I have a
it's coming
feeling
from.
more information will come our way.
okay. So before we move on to Miss Grace, any other factoid things that we didn't cover between Simon and Neil? Obviously, there's brewing stuff between Simon and Neil, and this partnership, this business, the notion of all this. So there's that.
There's that.
Okay. Anything else that we did not discuss before we get
For Simon and Neil, I think that sort of sums it up.
Okay. Khalil, any other
Lingering troubles?
Yes. No. Okay, Grace.
He's good. We're
It's
good.
time for some Grace in our lives. So, yeah, we get up with Grace and she's in bed and Adriana is hovering over her, and that all creeped me out kind of majorly, but whatever.
Totally. I feel like every single interaction between Grace and Adriana is like super beautiful.
I know, like Adriana wants to
like
totally
homoerotic in
yes.
a way, and like, hello, good morning,
Wouldn't you
beautiful.
like to know?
Come on, darling, let's go shopping and
That dress
swim with
looks
me.
perfect
And
on you.
let's do these things together.
this
It's a good
And-
fit.
This is excellent.
I knew you would love the dress.
Okay, well that was accurate. And so basically,
He's still getting creepy over here.
Grace somehow ends up at the morning family meeting that Adriana's having with all of her team members about this event that's going on, asks for Grace's opinion about the event. There's one lingering chick that just has major issue with Grace. Do we know her name?
I actually like that.
Of course you did. I know.
No, I mean,
Girl fight.
Girl fight. Yeah.
Girl
yeah,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was cool with that.
So crashes the meeting. Somehow Grace is now gonna go to, or she's invited to this event or whatever. And yes.
Quickly,
Yes.
for that girl who
Yes.
like hates Grace.
Yes.
I didn't quite understand like the whole interaction with everything. Okay, so like she doesn't like Grace because she handpicked these two guys to be the escorts, to
Right.
be hired on as escorts,
Right.
And has like a personal issue with the fact that they were then let go. But she's got all these words for Grace, and she keeps like bringing it up to Grace, but then Adriana says nothing. Either about the situation or to this girl who keeps like saying these things. Adriana's the one that fired the guys. Grace had nothing to do with it. She had like a tiff with them, but Adriana's essentially the one that carried out the actions.
Right.
So this girl is like, oh, Grace, got my people fired. But like Adriana's not saying anything about it. Twice this happened.
Didn't Adriana shoot her like a devil look, like shut up, biatch?
Basically, she's gonna be part of the family.
Right. She said that. She was like,
Yeah.
you better get used to her. You better get used to her.
Essentially.
I don't know. That's
guess.
what I was thinking. I was
Okay.
like, I mean, yeah, maybe we needed a little bit more.
Right.
So this Chris guy, one of the guys that got fired, I'm trying to think, where did we see him before she showed up at the library to invite him to this event?
Yeah, last episode.
Oh, so we hadn't seen him.
He was the two guys.
was standing
Right,
next
no,
to-
right,
yeah.
yeah. So I was trying to think if we saw him again, and that's why she felt so affected to then invite
Yeah.
him to the thing. We saw him somewhere else.
He was at the thing, and it was like, oh, I know that guy. Like, yeah.
Oh,
he
and then
works
she
for
was
me. I
like, "Go
fired
again."
him.
The modeling agency. That's
Yeah.
where they saw him again. So they see the same
And
guy
then
that gets
the
let
girl who
go.
was speaking in Spanish.
He gets let go again by the modeling agency. Sees Grace. Chris sees Grace and pretty much rolls his eyes and is like, "Is this the devil? Is she out to get me?" Pretty much. That was the look. Great
the devil
actor.
in the flesh.
He nailed it.
Yes.
Grace, I think, is now, she has inner turmoil happening, goes to seek him out, finds him at his day job at the library, and basically invites him to attend this party with her, which I actually was like, go Grace. I really did appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
well,
then he's a college student, and he gets to
Give
be
him
an
a break.
escort.
that was tough.
Give
That's
him a
hard to watch.
friggin'
Well, why were
break.
they so aggressive with firing
Firing
him
him.
anyways for the second time?
I know, it's like, I don't even know the guy.
No.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't even know that guy. I was just standing next
Yeah.
to him. Give that guy a break.
For real, I didn't quite understand the whole
He can't catch
issue
a
with
break.
the second thing. Yeah, it's like they fired him from the escort service. Fine, this is a whole different ball game. Let's not be crazy.
Maybe he's gonna be Grace's new
Maybe.
side boo.
I think that's a prediction, so you're gonna have to hold on that. Because we have a few more tidbits. So they go to the party together, Grace and Chris, and Adriana was not necessarily pleased, but she sort of let it slide, kind of a thing.
Okay. I'm sorry. This whole exchange between Adriana and Grace was just like killing me the whole entire time.
Tell
because
us,
I was
Blake.
I was just like, there's like zero emotion
It's just like,
in what's happening.
Like the dress.
Yes. And then Grace was doing the same thing. And apparently these were like major things that were happening. Like Adriana was like, no, once I fire someone, they never come back. And then Grace is like, well, oh, geez, I didn't know. I just brought him because I feel bad because you keep firing his ass off and everything. But
I guess I'm just learning how to swim.
But they just talk about it like that. Does everyone remember Chris? Yes, I fired him. Oh, well, I just brought him back because I thought it might lead to other things. Oh, no, they cannot come back once I fire them. Well, then my apologies. Because it's like,
you're so good, Blake.
right? I was like,
I was gonna join in, but you had it.
She's mirroring. I feel like she's mirroring
Yeah.
Adriana right now, is what's happening. She's like thinking, this is
oh, we
how
were
I
going to
need-
like play it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that would have been better.
But you
Sorry,
had it.
Khalil.
No, you had it. You killed it.
There's still time. Yeah, no, it was definitely odd. And then the girl is like, well, you need to get rid of her. I get a weird feeling. And she's like,
yeah.
get used to her. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever she said. Which I was like, yeah, get used to her.
Yeah, and then
You
like,
need to
all,
leave.
all of this happened, and then Adriana was just like, I'll see you inside.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So then basically Grace is at home. This is where we're kind of wrapping up with Grace. Grace is at home collecting some of Annika's things, which I didn't quite understand. I was like, are you shipping them to a new festival?
That's
What's
what I
going
thought.
on?
Truly, that's what I thought. I thought it was like, I've gathered your things.
Right.
They
They'll
kinda-
be to you soon.
Yeah. I guess they
That was-
needed
that
a
was weird.
reason
Oh, and then-
to put them in the same room, basically.
That's when Neil was initially playing the guitar, and he said, oh, I've got meetings happening. This confused me. I've got meetings happening, but then he gets a call.
And has to go.
And has to go. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Did you call your
That didn't make
meeting to
sense.
tell your meeting to cancel? And no, he did not.
Again,
because then
they
who
needed
shows
a
up?
reason to get him out so she could catch the guy with.
Well, yes,
by
I
himself.
get that, but I was just like,
Yeah.
no, this would not have happened
Yeah.
in reality, right? No.
But this is not reality.
No, it's Satisfaction on USA.
That's right.
Correct. So, of course not. So anyway, of course, who shows up at the door? Chris. And now we're exploring this notion of another escort business.
And he's still going,
Niels-
and now the wife knows.
Now the wife knows.
And not only is he still going, but he's taking it to another level.
And poor Grace just keeps getting her mind blown. It's just like, she thought it was just that he worked for the escort service. Now he's starting his
He
own,
is
perhaps.
the escort
it's
service.
like, Jesus, every time she comes back to that house.
It's something
She
else.
just can't catch a break. She can't catch
No.
a break. Okay, any other, before we get into predictions, any other graceness that we have not addressed for this episode?
Grace just needs to have sex with Adriana.
Okay.
I'm
I feel like
kind
that's a
of on that
prediction.
page.
Okay,
I've been
prediction
feeling that
time,
since the
James.
beginning.
We are here.
Ooh, there it is.
And now, your
room is shaking.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Khalil, we'll start with you since you were already starting us off.
No, actually, you had the very first prediction of the show.
Well, I already had the prediction noise for me, so I'm just saying now for the new set of predictions, it was you.
You said?
Okay.
Adriana and Grace are going to have sex together.
Okay. You say that so nonchalantly.
Simon is going to refuse his dad's offer, then eventually turn around and try to be nice to him. And his dad is going to die, leaving him with the money.
And all his efforts would have been for nothing.
Okay.
And then Neil, I don't know what Neil's doing.
He's rather unpredictable.
Do you hate Simon as much this week or no?
No.
Oh.
No.
Wow, that changed in a week.
Yeah.
Oh, there's hope for life. Okay. All right.
Not,
All right.
not as much anymore. I don't know necessarily like him, but
Is it
you know.
because he has a dying father?
No.
Oh, okay. All
No,
right.
has not. I think Simon, like deep down, wants to be loved. I think that's his thing.
Don't we all want to be loved?
No, but I
Khalil?
mean, like, he feels like, I mean, yes, no,
James, don't we all want to be loved?
Let's not get
He's
started.
like, Allison, it's an issue.
Yeah.
All right.
But, like,
You all.
oh.
James?
I love you all.
Thank you,
Oh, we
James.
love you, James.
I love you so much.
But, like, with Neil, like, I feel like Neil is, like, Grace is exploring herself, a side that she's never really done. I feel like Neil's kind of doing the same thing and in part living a fantasy.
Right.
And I feel Simon wants to be loved for who he is and can't find that.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna find some more stuff
I
out.
know, deep, but I follow. I
Blake?
agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah, I'm still just on the Grace and Adriana train.
Oh.
I've been on that since the beginning.
Okay.
There's some vibes. I
Okay.
feel it's getting stronger.
Okay.
We're seeing that in the teasers for next episode. I don't know. Some things might be going down.
Literally.
Literally.
Oh dear. Oh snap. So we should share with all of our lovely viewers that Catherine Lanasa will be here November 10th, and she can tell us all about all these different things.
Woohoo!
That is who plays Adriana.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know,
It's gonna
like
be fabulous.
It's just gonna be diva all around. Like
it's
we all
gonna
should
be
wear mini
amazing.
skirts that day, including you, Khalil.
Ooh.
Just
Ooh.
no, just kidding. All right,
He said
whatever.
yes, I heard
know.
him.
He was like,
Yeah.
"I'll appreciate everyone else wearing them."
And if you are Khalil.
Oh, did you hear that? James will wear one if you do. I like it.
I think
like
yes,
it.
yes.
I like it. I
Yes.
like it. Just pretend it's a kilt.
Boys United.
So I guess for me, I'm gonna go with you guys and say that yeah, I think Grace and Adriana. I think Grace will succumb to her curiosities, and I think yes, this will probably happen. I definitely think we're gonna see more Neil and Simon biz dealings. I'm curious about how this is all gonna come together, but I think that that's a very interesting approach for season 2.
It's probably going to be the battle of like who's working for who. Like Neil, I got this for you, Simon. Oh no, Neil, I got this for you. Like I don't know. I think that'll be a battle.
It'll be a penis show, is what you're saying.
Truly.
All right.
Truly.
Well, needless to say, it should be very interesting as we get into episode 3.
Yes, it should.
Thank you all for watching. I've been your host, Allison Dean. You can find me once again everywhere at the Allison Dean. And where can they find you too?
Yes, and I am Blake V. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
I'm Khalil Abubu. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Khalil Abubu.
All right, that wraps us up. But thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.